views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Welcome to Transformation Talk Radio. Welcome to any other network that you're listening from, and a big welcome to our Australia affiliates. Benny, this show is for you.
Oh, yeah?
You don't know it is, but it is for you.
Okay, all right.
When I got the books, they came across my desk. Mm-hmm. I said, we don't do shows that really talk to kids. We don't bring like creative things to the table for them. We do a lot of show on children, right? And parenting and parents. But I probably could count on one hand the shows that I've done that are like majorly talking to children, but of course we're talking to parents too now. And you're one of those parents and you have kids.
I do.
And so today's show, Benny, Freeing Freddie, the Dream Weaver, author Brent Feinberg joining me here today. This is for you, Benny.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
I want you to chime in as you want, because these books, and my comment to Brent was, oh my gosh, it says ages, it says ages 4 to 10, it says ages 12 and above. So I guess I'll look at the 12 and above, but I got to tell you, I really want the stickers in the 4 to 10 book. and we were chatting about that before the break. We were kind of chatting about, the fact that our society wants us to put it like a label on something. But if you're like me and did not have a childhood, right? You really did. Nobody talked to you about looking at the Velveteen Rabbit and stuff like that. I read that when I didn't read that thing till I was like, 40 something. But today's show is to say, when we can tap into the hearts, the inspiration of children, there's a purity in this. And Brent is a best-selling children's book author. He resides in South Africa. He's also an integrated healer, practitioner in consciousness-based healthcare. Oh, thank you for even writing that in your bio, please. That's amazing. But, he began training at a young age. So it kind of makes sense to me, that his passion about empowering children and youth so that kids can live healthily fulfilled lives is amazing. He has a vision just like us. He wants to make positive change in the world. That's why we are the number one positive change talk radio network. That's the latest that we've been told we are. But this is not about that. This is about opening hearts, heart to heart, and he does it in the most creative, amazing way. Freeing Freddie, the Dream Weaver, his first book in Freeing Freddie series, Benny, Freeing Freddie series. Amazing success in this. I said to him before he came on, and you're going to hear from him here, I said, Brent, this should be a movie. This is like movie stuff. So Benny, this show's for you. Actually, it's more for you, but it's for the boys too. Brent, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Awesome. Thanks, Dr. Pat, for having me today. I'm really thrilled to be here talking with you.
Well, I got to say, I looked at a little bit of your history. And what I mean by that is, I looked at your beginnings, so to speak. You and I have very different beginnings, but isn't it interesting how the universe, how spirit brings us together to talk about something that has a global message? Don't you find that fascinating? I find it fascinating.
Yeah, synchronicity never ceases to amaze me.
Beyond all of the healing work you've done, I do believe there is a new narrative that's needed for our kids to really wrap their hearts around. But more importantly, was there an event or something where you said, man, I got to do this? I've never done it before, but I really think I have to do it. What was that?
Well, for me, this was a long process. And in South Africa, my mom runs a big organization that does education for orphans and vulnerable children. And that's been running for 12 years. It's called the Tomorrow Trust, and they do incredible work. And before that, she's always been in the nonprofit space and in social development. And I spent time with incredible people growing up. I was very blessed to meet Nelson Mandela and many of the apartheid activists that created profound and wonderful change in South Africa, and many people through her work over the years. And watching things like the Tomorrow Trust, I always wondered, how can I get involved? What can I do? And at a stage, I was too young. And then when I got older, I'd work with the at-risk students, helping them release stress and trauma so they could focus on their studies and thrive and succeed in life. While I was doing this, I was also working in private practice. And I noticed that the biggest thing holding people back in their lives from living the life of their dreams, the life that made them feel most fulfilled, engaged their passion, engaged their heart, brought them inner peace, was fear. Fear was standing in the way of all people. It didn't matter of what cultural or socio-economic background they came from. And out of that was born the story of Freeing Freddie. I always thought my first book would be a bit more serious and longer. But I was off in Bali. I was studying to become a yoga teacher at the time. And I suppose inspiration strikes. You never know when and how. And at that point in time, Freeing Freddie was born.
Well, you know what I love about this is, first of all, I love the title, Freeing Freddie. I also love the Dreamweaver. I love the notion of the Dreamweaver, and I love the Dreamweaver idea. But I want to talk about the Dreamweaver and the idea of the Dreamweaver and what it means. Because if our listeners don't know or don't have a sense of Dreamweaver and the importance that I have found in my own spiritual journey, I think there may be something missing. And I want to talk to you about this. I want to really ask you what the Dreamweaver meant to you and your co-author in putting this together.
Yes, that's actually such a fantastic question. I wish I was asked it more. So the Dreamweaver is the polar opposite concept of the spider, Mr. Cotton, in the story. There are two ways we can perceive the spider. One is from fear, and the other would be dreams. And spiders weave this web. So it comes from those connotations. And for me, dreams aren't something that ever came from outside, from societal conditioning. They always came from within. And why it's weaved is because every experience you have, every wonderful book you read, starts to weave this dream. It's the foundation that you take from each thought, each experience, and mold it who you are from each point in your life. And if you have this larger dream, if you connect with your passion early on in life, when you're a child, or at any point really, then you can set the intention to weave this dream. And it takes time. It's not an instant gratification thing. It's creating the life of your dream is all about patience, finding inner peace, embracing compassion, and with that, you can weave the life of your dreams.
Yeah, I really love this because, I'm a girl from New York City, and the relationship to the Dreamweaver. I mean, if you'd have put my bio on paper, it would really not look like the person talking to you today. But sometimes we get connected with things in our lives for a greater purpose, and I'm really acutely aware of that. One of the things that you talk about here is that deep inside of each of us, and we talked about this in the last show, by the way, there is something valuable. There's something worth listening to. And it's a quote that you've put in a book by E.E. Cummings. And you say, once we believe in ourselves, we can risk curiosity, wonder, spontaneous delight, or any experience that reveals the human spirit. Boy, that is one of the more powerful descriptive quotes that I've seen in books, but it's especially relevant to what you're writing about, isn't it?
Yes. For me, it's such a beautiful quote, and watching an organization like the Tomorrow Trust, and there are so many wonderful organizations in the world that reach out and help people and uplift. And without those people giving students, young people, the belief in themselves, they cannot live their dreams. They cannot accomplish what they do. And there's no one on this earth plane that is self-made. I truly believe that. You get to a place of success in life only with the help of others. We're in a social society. And I think in recognizing that this beautiful power that we have within it's enhanced by others around us.
Yeah, one of the things I want to talk with you about when we come back is this notion of Freddie and freedom. And what does this mean? But more importantly, to take a look at the books, the workbooks, and the continuing story. Why today's world is it important to realize our dreams, and how brilliant it is, that what Brent delivers in this, as well as Kim, what they deliver is a fabulous workbook that I would say to all y'all out there, ages 12 and above, if you have not activated your dream, boy, this one's for you. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about how dreaming is more than relevant in the world we live in today. And what ages? Is there an age requirement? Is it okay for a 5-year-old to dream? What do we think about that? Stay tuned. We're going to be right back. How much fun are we having here today? We'll be right back.
Calling all moms, it's time to awaken your vibrant, intuitive, loving self in every area of your life. Join host Debbie Pokornik as she shares thoughts, stories, and tools to help you stand in your power. Listen to Vibrant, Powerful Moms helping everyday women create extraordinary lives. Mondays at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. For more information about Debbie, visit empoweringenergy.com. That's empowering with letters NRG.com.
Choose the new earth on the Cornelia Stephanie Show. Tune in each week on Transformation Talk Radio as Cornelia takes listeners on an odyssey of higher consciousness to inspire, educate, and empower. Cornelia guides people on the path of self-healing, peace, and liberation. The Cornelia Stephanie Show is your catalyst for anchoring heaven on earth on a global scale. For more information, go to corneliastephanie.com.
Knowledge Book Radio with Marge Potasic has a special gift for everyone out there. To receive 3 chapters of the Knowledge Book as a special gift, send your email to mmjp99@gmail.com. That's M as in Mary, JP99@gmail.com now to receive this fabulous, fabulous gift of the Knowledge Book.
Take your own journey with the angels with Claire Candy Huff's Heaven Sent Guided Angel Meditation CD. Letting go of concerns and living in the now. This beautiful CD walks listeners through practical exercises to help free them from the burdens, worries, and concerns of daily life.
Walking a quarter of the way across the bridge, you see a bright, emerald green light and sense a loving presence. This is Archangel Raphael's green healing energies, nourishing and revitalizing you. Take a moment now to bathe in this green healing light.
Giving you much more than just relaxation and stress release, this wonderfully narrated CD provides vivid visualization, soothing and inspiring music, and an angel's choir that will bring you peace, clarity, and a newfound awareness. Visit angelhealinghouse.com today.
Gain powerful insight and practical tools to support you on your spiritual journey. Access your higher self and tune in every second and fourth Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific to A Life Untethered with Andrew Martin and now co-host Jeremy Nudell. Walking the Path of Freedom. Andrew is a highly attuned, intuitive oracle, energy worker, spiritual teacher, and international radio host. For more about Andrew and his services, visit andrewmartin.energy.
Oh, Benny, that's priceless. Thank you for doing that. Before we kind of jump ahead, I mean, my gosh, I wish we could record some of our, actually, I have found a way to record our in-between conversations. They're amazing. But Brent, I really want to stop for a minute and let folks know how can they find out more about you? How can they find out about the books? And how can they get copies? Because the holidays are coming, boy, and I'll tell you, these are great gifts. I already know a 10-year-old I'm giving it to.
So all over the world, the books are available on Amazon, Freeing Freddie. And if you go into any bookstore in the USA, you can order one from your local bookstore. So they're available from all the easiest access points.
Awesome.
Our website is www.withlovefromfreddie.com. You can see different things, the way we're engaging with the community. And we're also really trying to reach out and connect with our audience. So if you follow us on Instagram, With Love from Freddie, and on Facebook.
So let's talk about the 3 books that I have in front of me so folks know, what I'm talking about. I've got the book Freeing Freddie, right? The Dreamweaver. I've got A Guide to Realizing Your Dreams. It's a workbook, and that's for ages 12 and above. And I've got, the activity book. Now, I am going to give all 3 of these to a 10-year-old because she's in the 4 to 10 range, but she's also, quite wise. So for me, that's the way I'm going to roll on this. And she does a lot of reading with her dad. They every time, they sit and read together. And I think that's wonderful. But there are 3 books. And, how are you suggesting people work with the 3 books? Let's talk about that for a minute before I jump back into cool questions.
So Freeing Freddie the Dreamweaver is a reader. It's a storybook. And on first writing the story and reading it to people, we just saw the reaction was amazing. People's eyes lit up. And it was just really a fun way to give people real solutions to their lives. And I didn't want it to end there. So we created a workbook, me and my mom. And the workbook is to integrate the lessons into your life. It deals with how to let go of fear and create the life of your dreams. And we wanted this for teenagers and adults, and that's what the workbook is designed for. as well as for younger children. So we designed an activity book with fun activities that are really engaging.
Wow. I want to get back to something I was talking with you about during the break. I mean, even opening the first several pages of the book, right? I was struck by the beginning journey here. And, we talk about in the book this mystical journey of Freddie and it beginning. But before I could even get too far along, I stopped and I thought about how much thought and heart opening you must have put into every word in this book. Because here I am and I'm reading about Freddie as he's walking through the magical forest. And you say something, you say this, you say he paused walking for a few minutes and took 5 deep breaths. If we were to just practice that one thing with our kids right there, that one thing, what a difference in the world it would make. And I wanted to ask you about this. I am fairly sure that you have given this purposeful thought. Tell us about this and the way that the book was written.
Yes, I definitely did. Every word has been considered, and every page I feel has such a valuable lesson that every person can learn from. And pausing to breathe is such a beautiful technique in life. In many different philosophies and principles of personal development, breathing is an essential practice. And what breathing does is it calms the nervous system down, it helps us to let go of emotions, and it brings us into a state of present moment awareness, which is a truly wonderful place to be. It's a place where thoughts are very faint and subtle, and we aren't worried about the future or concerned about the past. And taking full deep breaths does amazing things for the health of the mind and the body. And in creating the life of our dreams, we all dream of inner peace. And so breathing is a wonderful tool in bringing ourselves into a present state of awareness.
Mm-hmm. When we look at the messages for kids reading this book, children reading this book, I want to ask you, was it an intuitive writing, or were you thinking very specifically of the journey that you would invite these kids to take?
I think definitely both. I was critically thinking of the plot of the story and the arc of the story and what I wanted to convey, that things like fears are normal. We all have fears. Mm-hmm. So I want people to know and understand that it's normal to have fear, that it's okay to express them, and it's okay to be vulnerable, and that if you know what your fears are, then you can let go of them. And to dream. A lot of people have dreams, don't know how to get there, have never dreamt, don't know how to connect with their own passion and purpose. So that was very specific. And then, like all writing, I think it's definitely an intuitive process. I spent a lot of time in silence, spent time in nature, and drew inspiration from my surroundings.
For many kids right now, they're living in a state of fear in a lot of ways. You know, here in the United States, we just had a horrific incident. And for me, somebody that grew up with the fear of gun violence in New York City, you know, the notion of what happened at this church is just, there are no words for it, actually. Just prayers and love. There just are no words for it. This is for kids, I think, and parents as well, to look fear in the eye, but not be held back by it. I mean, for many people, you know, when you read the book, and clearly there are characters in the book that would scare an adult. You get what I'm saying here? But this is really about also not just looking at fear in the face, but understanding our unique spiritual nature. And I'd love for you to talk about that.
Yes, definitely. So I think the first thing always I like to distinguish, there are two types of fear. And I like to start out by saying life is precious, treat it with care. So have a steady sense of caution. Treat your body, your mind, your whole being with care. Don't endanger the physical body in any way if you don't have to. And what we're really speaking about here is fear that lies within the mind. And the things that you can change your perception. So I grew up in a society where crime was a real threat. As a child, every night I'd have nightmares of people invading, breaking into my house and being circumspect to gun violence. And when I was 10 years old, I was carjacked with my father and he was shot in front of me. And it was extremely traumatic, and thank God he survived the whole incident. So for many years after that, I grappled with the concept of fear and feeling safe in my environment. And for me, I had to come to the idea of I am where I am. I couldn't move or anything, but there's nothing I could do with the situation. So either I could live with fear, or I could be cautious and just have a trust that whatever is going to happen is best for me in life. And that's my journey. And through the challenges that I went through, I learned and I grew as a person. And that's a big concept I like to convey through the Freeing Freddie story, is that it's our difficulties in life and our perception of them that really bring us the growth we need. And it's a gift. And when we can see our challenges and difficulties in life as a gift, then we truly become happier people, because when life is easy and great, then we even on a greater level of happiness.
Yeah. I mean, this is so exciting, right? For, many of us that are looking at this and tapping in to a divine nature and really hoping for the best for our children. We're looking at what could be next. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about who are some of the characters in the book. I love characters. I love it. I love characters. And who are some of these in the book? And what is it about love, collaboration, and compassion that transcends fear and hate? What is it? What is it about this that is so, so very powerful? Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Do you want to heal your body and mind? Your body has a lot to tell you if you just learn to listen to your intuition. Audrey Michelle, host of Rewired Life Radio, can help you peel away the layers that are holding you back from living your best life. Tune in to Rewired Life Radio. Learn to love, heal, celebrate on Transformation Talk Radio every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Connect with Audrey at audreymichelle.com.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit jenroyster.com for more information.
Tune in to the hit show Raging Skillet Radio, Mouthing Off with Chef Rossi. Chef Rossi mouths off about different subjects in pursuit of breaking down walls and opening up your minds. She and Dr. Pat banter back and forth, taking from the headlines of the day on subjects that reach beyond what goes on in the world into your hearts. And go to theragingskillet.com to find out more and let Chef Rossi know what's on your mind.
Stay juicy. Tune in to Your Juicy Love with me, Una Drake, co-hosting monthly with Dr. Pat, and every second Monday at 12 p.m. on Transformation Talk Radio. My show, Your Juicy Love, helps you find the dynamic, life-affirming love you've always wanted. Transform your relationships and bring peace, joy, and juicy, juicy love to planet Earth. For more information, visit unadrake.com.
Interested in deepening your spiritual practice? The School for Esoteric Studies offers online training to spiritual seekers from all paths of life and individual coaching. Our courses synthesize Eastern and Western spiritual traditions based on meditation, study, and service applied to everyday life. To learn more about our courses and services, please visit www.esotericstudies.net.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show, Talk Radio to Thrive By. I am so thrilled to be talking to all of you. We have got talk radio for all of us. Are you ready and willing and able to accept all of the abundance you can muster up in your life? Check us out at drpatshow.com, transformationtalkradio.com, transformationradio.fm. Oh my goodness.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Freeing Freddie. That's what we're talking about today. Very, very cool. We're going to jump in and talk about some of the characters for a minute. But before we do, Brent, one more time, how can we find out more about the characters and about you? And yeah, just give us some insight for folks that are looking to find something special for their kids and to share with their kids.
So Freeing Freddie is available on Amazon, and you can get it at any of your local bookstores in the USA, as well as our website, www.withlovefromfreddie.com, and you can connect with us and see the different ways we're engaging with our community on social media, with Love from Freddie on Instagram and Facebook, and Freeing Freddie on Twitter. And we look forward to connecting with your wonderful audience.
I love it. I think for most of us, I opened the book, and I shared this during a break. I opened the book and I turned the page and I went, oh no. And I went, oh no, because I hadn't read through the book. And that leads me to a question for you about the characters and who the major characters are in the book, and perhaps share why I said, oh no. But I changed that quickly.
So Freeing Freddie is a story of a boy named Freddie who lives in this magical rainforest. And one day he stumbles and falls and becomes entangled in a spider's web. And he's trapped, he's terrified. And this giant spider comes down towards him and turns out to be really wise and friendly. And his name is Mr. Cotton. And Mr. Cotton is really wise. And he teaches Freddie that the web he's trapped in represents his fears, and that if he chooses to, he can teach him how to let go of the web of his fears and build a new web for himself, the web of his dreams. And the story of Freeing Freddie is about that journey of how to build the life of your dreams.
I was fascinated by the idea of the weaver and the web. There's a saying, and the saying from I want to call her Spider Woman, right? Indigenous cultures, there is a Spider Woman, and the message is the weaver and the web are one. What does that mean to you, and how did that play a role in the books?
Well, I think that in the saying, we cannot separate ourselves from our purpose in life, from our passion, from our dreams, which is all one. And when we are aligned to our purpose, our passion, our dreams, then we have greater joy. And when we know what our purpose and dreams are in life, we feel like we can surmount challenges that come in our way. And every challenge is worth overcoming because we have this beautiful goal in front of us, our dreams. And we are one with our purpose in life. And I think that's what that message means to me.
There's a message for the world today, and there's a message that shows up in the book through the characters. There's a phrase in it that I really want to talk to. And I'm kind of jumping ahead, but it's okay. There's a point in the book where on the journey they stop, and Mr. Cotton says, "Right, let us stop for a rest. I want to tell you a story." And what I love about this, there are stories in the book. All right, there's the story of the journey, and then there are stories within the story. And they're beautiful stories. And I want to talk a little bit about this notion of putting the story of the lotus flower within a story, and how interesting that it's Mr. Cotton that tells this story for me.
Yes, so the lotus flower is symbolic of our full expression of self, the best possible person that each individual can be. And the story of the lotus flower in the book is all about how the lotus flower drops a seed to the bottom of the pond, and it needs to grow through the thick mud or challenges of the water to once again become this beautiful lotus flower. And the whole time the seed is under this thick mud, it knows that the light of the sun is there. And time in the soft mud and under the water softens the seed and strengthens it. And this is a metaphor for life. We are all like the seed. It is time in the thick mud or the challenge of the water that softens and strengthens us until we finally blossom into our best selves, the lotus flower.
Well, this is when we take a look at these things, we look at the messages in our lives. And I think for many people, they are looking for places to have hope, places to be able to tell their own story, places to be able to carve out, significant meaning. And some of the dynamics and sad parts of the world and of life. And I want to ask you, when you wrote this, did you have a sense of how popular these would become?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I've started writing just out of the passion for expressing myself. I always did want to speak to a wide audience. I suppose the intention was definitely there. And my original purpose for writing the story was to raise funds and awareness for the foundation in South Africa.
Yeah.
And we started selling them through the foundation, distributing them in South Africa. And they were just so beautifully received by the public. And here we sit today, and they being distributed throughout the world.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about how Deepak Chopra got involved, because Deepak has come forth with a very special message and endorsement. What was that like for you?
Yes, so meeting someone of such great, I want to use the word valor, because he just emanates a grace throughout the world, and he's brought concepts and philosophies that were once only learnt by select groups of people to a very public and expansive audience, and it's brought such a beautiful change in our world. So I'm incredibly grateful to him, and I've read many of his books, and they have definitely influenced my life in such a positive way. But how his endorsement came to be on the book is because of his relationship and connection to my mother, and they've struck up a friendship. And when he saw the story, he obviously felt moved to support freeing Freddie and our book.
Wow. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about what is it that this book comes with, and how do these two workbooks help to support a child's personal dream journey? When we come back, we're going to talk about the activity book. We're also going to talk about a guide to realizing your dreams workbook, and share a little bit about what's in here and what messages there are for both kids and adults alike. For more about me, go to thedrpatshow.com or go to transformationtalkradio.com. When we come back, we'll make sure you have plenty of ways to get your set of Freeing Freddie and have something to share with your kids that is lifelong and transformative. We'll take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back.
Have you ever lost your way while driving somewhere? This can be unsettling as you don't know if you should go left, right, forward, backwards, or make a U-turn. Hi, I'm Eve from Elite Tarot, host of the weekly show Mainstream Metaphysics Radio, where we harness the power of the universe for happier living. As an intuitive coach and professional tarot card reader, I work with clients worldwide on helping them get back on their natural road of living their life with joy. Next time you feel off track, tap into your inner child's sense of joy and write down on paper the non-negotiable qualities that you're needing in career or love, but without limiting specifics. With your list, you know where to place your energy going forward and where not to. You're always best served when your inner child is at the navigation controls. However, don't worry, you still have the keys to the car. If you would like to schedule a personal navigation session with me, please visit my website at elitetarot.com. That's ELITETAROT.com.
Be you plus live your purpose equals joy. That's the motto of Unstuck Joy with Vicki Todd. Vicki believes you were born with gifts that are meant to make the world brighter. Each show will feature an art visioning journal prompt to help you create your way to soul clarity. If you're ready to get unstuck and create more joy, this show is for you.
Tune in the first and third Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information, visit VickiWorldArt.com.
If you're dealing with fear and anxiety, you've probably noticed that the more you fight these emotions, the stronger they seem to get. Dr. Friedemann Schaub, the author of The Fear and Anxiety Solution, explains that instead of suppressing, we need to identify and resolve the deeper, subconscious root causes of fear and anxiety. His personal breakthrough program has helped thousands worldwide to overcome their emotional challenges. To learn more, visit thefearandanxietysolution.com and schedule your free consultation with Dr. Schaub now.
Tune in to the Psychic Professors Show, The Voices of Spirit Radio, with international medium and spirit artist Dr. Susan Barnes on Transformation Talk Radio, featuring a variety of spiritual topics such as psychic art, spiritualism, EVP, psychic development, and mediumship. This hit call-in show provides listeners with breakthrough wisdom to enliven and enlighten their lives. Visit spiritartgallery.net.
Tune in each Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio.
Wow. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. I'm telling you, I got to pinch myself some days, because when each of us gets called to do something that we so not thought was in our wheelhouse to do for a purpose that's so much greater than us, we get to show up and shine.
If you would like to show up and shine on the Dr. Pat Show as a co-host or sponsor, send us an email to inspire@thedrpatshow.com.
Wow. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Great to have all of you join us. Brent, before we kind of keep going here, please give out your website again, because we're getting ready to talk about, the workbook, activity book, two of the books that come with this. But before we can even do that, please tell folks how to find out more about it, how to get their own copies of books.
www.withlovefromfreddie.com. And it's available on Amazon and in all your local bookstores across the United States.
Wow. We've been talking quite a bit about the book itself. But there are also 2 other books that come with this, that people could get to use along with this. One is the activity book, and the other one is A Guide to Realizing Your Dream. I want to just tell you that both of these books, starting with the activity book, it's just super cool things you've put in here. And I want to just tell folks a little bit with you, have you tell them what this book is about and what all you've put in here. Everything from a magical 3-minute fudge recipe.
Yes. So with Freeing Freddie, the Dreamweaver, the storybook, there are so many wonderful life lessons, and we really wanted the reader to be able to engage with them and incorporate them into their lives. And the activity book is for younger children, and we wanted them to learn the lessons of how to let go of fear, how to create their dreams in a fun way, and by engaging with the characters of the story. And that's what the activity book is. So creating magical fudge, building your own web of dreams, things like magical pebbles, how to turn your fears into a positive thing. So it's just a really fun way to engage with children if you're a teacher or a parent. And a big reason why I wrote the story and did these workbooks was because I found that children and parents aren't engaging with each other in a deep, meaningful way in many regards. And I want to see more of that happening. I don't want to see kids sitting on their iPads while their parents aren't engaging with them. So that was a big intention behind this. And it's a beautiful way to open up wonderful conversations with your children, with children around you, and to learn about them on a deeper level. Learn what are their fears, what are their dreams, how to express emotion. So there are many wonderful things in the activity book. The workbook is an incredibly powerful tool for teenagers and adults. And these tools are many of the things that I've learned in my life along the way to make it easier during challenging times and make it more fruitful during the times where it feels like life is flowing best. And the workbook just gives wonderful structure and knowledge and wisdom as to what are fears, how do you let go of them, how do you deal with them, what are intentions, how do you use intention to weave the life of your dreams, and what other qualities. And one of the really beautiful things in the workbook is their guided visualizations. And a big part of the process of learning about yourself is going within, spending time in silence. And these are included in the workbook, and they are free downloads on our website, so anyone can go on and listen to these visualizations.
We were talking earlier on how powerful it is, and we're talking about the visualizations, but there's an interaction here and an activity that allows people to do many, many different things. And, I want to ask you about this because I was looking at the visualization, and what I was saying is, wouldn't this be cool for parents to do this with their kids? I mean, I don't know if that was your intention, but, wouldn't it be cool if the parents actually did this with their children and allowed the space to open up for ultimate creativity? Because that's really what these books are about. They're, my sense is they're not like books that allow kids to dream moderately. I mean, isn't this the idea of allowing the space for kids to dream perfectly for their own greatest good?
Yes, that's such a wonderful way of putting it. And it definitely was my intention for parents to connect with their children and to do the workbook and activity book with their children. And whether you're a child or an adult, dreaming is a very intimate thing. It doesn't come from outside, it comes from within. We each need to go within ourselves and discover what our passion and dream is for ourselves. And the workbook guides you how to do that. It's very easy to use, and I believe anyone who uses it will see a positive change in their lives.
I know we have a few minutes left. What was the aha moments for you in creating the book? And what I'm asking you is, how have you changed?
Well, I think there's so many moments of impact and experiences that have contributed to who I am as a person now.
Yeah.
I think the biggest one for me was I was busy studying engineering at a university in South Africa, and I just couldn't see myself working in that field. And I lacked the passion. I wasn't very happy in life, and I had a bit of a meltdown and didn't know what to do. And that is when I had the space and time, after leaving university, I had the space and time to reconnect with what it is I loved. And that was all this consciousness-based work and personal development. And it was something, if I look back, that I knew I was passionate about from very young ages, from the ages of 4, and then at the ages of 13 when I started my training. So it was always there with me. I just kind of forgot about it for a few years.
Yeah. Well, my experience is, I work on various projects that don't have anything to do with the radio. And I find myself, especially the one I shared with you, Pat the Green Rat, but also we're working on a video game for Lyme disease awareness. And I find that the journey itself, even though we're so attached to the end part, the journey changes us. At least my own experience of it is that I am forever changed by the journey that I take. And that's why I'm so fascinated by this. The people around you, too, have to have been affected by this.
Yes, certainly. I think as you grow and change and become lighter and happier, your whole environment starts to thrive. And I found that my friendships improved, my relationships and work and everything, because my intention is always to be more compassionate, more loving, come from a place of seeing all people as equal and beautiful. And I know that everyone has this beautiful light of their dreams within them.
Well, this is a great story, and you are absolutely wonderful to just sit. I could just sit and listen to you talk about it. I want to ask you this. What's on the horizon? Is Freddie going to get a pal?
So the first story is launching now, and we're full force behind that in the United States. The next story is called Revealing Freddie, The Light Within, and it's about Freddie and Professor Honey, a bee, which is a wonderful story all about unity and the gift that each of us have within us. The third book is about Freddie and Lucy, a little girl, and all about the power of women in the world. So that's a little bit of what's to come.
Wow. Thank you so much. I have one last question, and thank you for all that you do. What's your personal message, Brent? What do you want to leave us with here today?
Definitely that your life is worth loving. And that's the slogan for the business. And I just want all people in the world to have peace, love, and compassion within their hearts and be able to express that to others.
I love it. For those of you out there, if you missed any part of this, Freeing Freddie. What perfect gifts for children and grandchildren for sure. But I'll tell you, I encourage you, if you do buy them, please sit with your kids and help them dream. I'm Dr. Pat. Thank you so much, Brent. Thank you for today.
Thank you. I love being on your show and talking with you.
Benny, thank you for picking great music and pushing all the right buttons. And for all of you, you have such a very, very large part in my heart. We'll see you next time.
Preceding audio was via a Skype call.